Hello beautiful, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to this video where we are going to talk about my favorites of 2020. Like, where are they now? Are they still favorites? This is something that I like to do at the end of every year. I like to go back to my favorites from last year and take a look at them again and see if they are still favorites, because I'm a person that rarely changes favorites. I rarely change my mind about things. And in this video, we are going to check back on the things that I loved last year, and we're going to see if I still love them. And if you haven't been there before, hello, my name is Angie. I'm such a lover of beauty makeup. I love everything beauty makeup related. I review a lot of makeup on my channel, so therefore there's a lot of makeup in this video. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. And if you want to see some more makeup content, don't forget to subscribe, because normally I upload 5 videos a week, but right now we're in the middle of Vlogmas, so I'm just uploading every day until Christmas. This video is in collaboration with my friend Lauren from OPV Beauty. I've actually met Lauren in real life. She is so sweet and funny and wonderful, and I cannot wait to meet her again. And I'm so excited that we're doing this video together, because I feel like she's a little bit like me. Like, once something is a favorite, it's a favorite. We don't change favorites that often, so I'm so intrigued to see her look back at her favorites of 2020 and just see whether or not they're still favorites for her as well. So I can't wait to see her options. And if you're not subscribed to Lauren, you definitely should be. Go down below in the description box and check her out. Check her out her channel, check out her videos. She's so sweet and so wonderful. And she also loves color just like me, but maybe not as dark and dramatic. So if you want to see more color in Time Month, but maybe not as like dark and dramatic as I usually do it, definitely check her out. She is such a good YouTuber. And I did film this look, by the way. It should already be live on my channel. I will link that down below, maybe in a pinned comment. I'm not 100% sure. It depends on how crowded my description box is, because I think I'm gonna try and link the things that I'm talking about. Because why not? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, most of these are still favorites. The first things that I mentioned, I have it here in front. So if you see me looking at the side, it's because I have a screen here that's telling me the favorites from last year. And the two first things that I mentioned as favorites from last year are still favorites. That is the R&Co Balloon Dry Volume Spray. I used this yesterday. I don't have that much left. I have been going for more sleek, like glowy, like not so volumey, like dry spray volume thing. I'm telling you, I need help. I haven't been going for like volumey spray that much in 2021, but I will say when I do, like yesterday, this is the one I'm still reaching for. I think it's a great product. This Bondi Sands Self-Tanning Foam 1 Hour Express. This is like what, my fifth bottle. Still use this one. I use it once a week. It's a 1 hour express tanner that gives me a very natural and non-streaky color. It's really easy to apply, and it's only 1 hour. I put it on in the morning, I answer some mails, I drink some coffee, I take a shower, I wash it off, and then I start like filming. It's perfect. And I use it once a week. It doesn't make you super tan, which is a good thing for me. It just gives me that, like, I spent the weekend in the sun glow, and I love that. So this is what I use still absolutely love it. Okay, I had some foundations to talk about, and these foundations, here's the thing. When I am filming this, I have already filmed my declutter series for this year. You've already probably seen a couple of parts of that one, but I have already filmed it, and these were the 3 foundations that I mentioned as favorites from last year, and they are still here. I have not decluttered them. I'm actually wearing this one today. This is the Armani Neo Nude foundation. I have it in 2 colors. I will link it down below. This is the one that I have on my face today. Still love it. Still think it's a really good foundation. I also have the Uma Beauty Say What foundation. This is also a really good foundation. It's very similar to the other one I mentioned, which is the Natasha Denona Foundation X Plus. This is my favorite foundation. This is my favorite full coverage foundation. I love this one. It is lightweight, and it's full coverage without making you look cakey or too makeupy. Absolutely love it as like a natural finish on the skin. This one is very similar. The only difference between these two is that this one has a little better longevity on me than this one, but this is still a very good option. I have mine in Fair Lady T3W. This is a shade that's really good for me when I don't have a self tanner. When I have a self tanner on, it's usually just a hint too light, so I have to bronze it up, and that is mainly the reason why I've been using this a little bit more. But I still love all of these foundations. They're still in my collection. I still think they're really good. Definitely have not decluttered them. When it came to concealers, I mentioned 2 different concealers. The first one is the NYX Born to Glow. I have it in 3 shades. It's so excessive. I have it in 3 shades and it's still my favorite concealer. This is a medium concealer that's very lightweight under the eyes. It is perfect if you're like me, like I'm 37. I do have a lot of fine lines under my eyes. If you have a lot of fine lines, this is the perfect concealer. It is a medium coverage, very light under the eyes. It does not crease, it does not cake up. It has a little bit of a almost satin finish. It's absolutely wonderful. Definitely recommend it. I do think it's discontinued though, or as the rumors suggest, it's just being repackaged. I hope that's true because it's such a great concealer. This is the Giorgio Armani. It's called the Power Fabric Concealer. This one is too light for me. This is number 1. I need another shade badly because I have the wrong shade, but it is a great concealer. It's a great concealer. It's very lightweight but still high coverage under the eyes. It doesn't look cakey or heavy, and it's also a concealer that I really love and recommend a lot. I had a lot of bronzing products in my favorites last year, and I still have all 4 of them here. Like, I didn't declutter them. I had the Milk Makeup, this is this cream bronzer stick. I still love this one, but I will say that like I don't use it and love it as much as I love the new Anastasia cream bronzer. I think that one is absolutely amazing, and I still have this one in my collection. I will try and use it up, but I think I prefer the Anastasia one, if I'm gonna be totally honest. I also mentioned the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker. This is something that I tried last year for the first time. I have mine in Sunstalker. As you can see, mine is very well used. Absolutely love this bronzer. Definitely keeping it. It's such a good shade for me when I have a little bit of a tan, or when I have a foundation that is either too light or too peachy, because that one is a golden bronze on me, which fits my skin tone very good. This is the Nabla Skin Bronzing. I have it in Ambra. I actually did declutter the one that is a darker shade. This is the lighter shade because the darker shade is a little bit red on me, and I don't prefer a bronzer that's a little bit red. I still think it's really good though, and that bronzer is incredible, but I only kept 1 shade. And then there is the Kaleidos Charisma Contour Palette. This is the one I reach for when I want to be a little bit more chiseled. I do think that this is a really good one. I have traveled with these a couple of times. This one is a perfect like matte highlighting shade. Also think that this one is really great. I mean, they're all still in my collection. They're still favorites. I think I'm gonna do my favorites a little bit different this year, because last year I did like the ones that ranked the highest in my like monthly rankings. I don't know if I'm gonna do exactly that this year. We'll see, because that is why there's so many things here. So I think I'm gonna do that a little bit different this year. You'll see. That will be in a bit as well. I'm gonna have my favorites up quite soon. The next one is actually something that I did declutter, and this is the Colourpop Pressed Powder Blush in Shook to the Coral. It is a really good blush, but I hate that packaging that blush has. So it is in my declutters here somewhere. I'm not gonna go searching for it. I hate the packaging of that one, so I actually did declutter it. I still think it's a beautiful blush though, but I didn't reach for it enough because I don't like that packaging. And I will be honest, I reach for things that are even more glowy lately. And you will see that in my upcoming favorites. I have been on a glowy cheek kick this year. There was this holiday set last year that was like 3 Fenty products in the original Fenty Glow color, and I loved it so much, and they're all still in my collection. I still love it. It is the original Gloss Bomb, which is in the color Fenty Glow. I love smelling this one. It smells like Tutti Frutti candy. And then there were 2 cheek products that were limited edition colors, and I haven't seen these being released actually. It is the cream blush in Fenty Glow. It's amazing, like neutral with a slight peach undertone on me. Love the formula. And then it is the Diamond Bomb, and this is also in Fenty Glow. This one though I think she re-released this one in the holiday highlighter trio that's this year. I know that Fenty Glow is in here. This is a beautiful like blush topper on me. I don't use it as a highlighter. It's a little bit too deep for that, but I use it to make like my apples look a little bit wet looking. I still love these. I think they're really good. I mean, they survived the declutter. They're absolutely stunning. Then we have a couple of highlighters. Let's do these 2 highlighters. I'm trying to look. There's also a highlighter here that I decluttered, and that is the Natasha Denona Face Glow Cream Shimmer, which is her cream stick. I decluttered that one because I realized that when I want a product like that, I do actually prefer the one from Anastasia more. The Drippin' in Gold, the stick highlighter. It's so pretty, and I actually do prefer that formula over the formula from Natasha Denona. So I actually did declutter that one. I did mention 2 other highlighter formulas, and they're still in my collection. This is the one from Kiko. It is in Golden River. Such a beautiful, it looks like absolutely nothing in the pan, but it's like a wet look golden highlighter, so beautiful. And then there is the Be Perfect in collaboration with Stacey Marie MUA. These are the wet look highlighters. They're called Get Wet. Yeah, this one is in soft silk. I actually did declutter the one. I had one that was a lighter one as well. It was like an almost icy highlighter on me. And even though I love the formula, I reached for this one that is a bit more gold. This looks like a warm but still wet look on my skin. It looks absolutely stunning. Both of these very wet looking. This one doesn't have any glitter particles. This one do have some glitter particles when you get close. Therefore, this one looks even more wet on the skin. This is more of a putty formula as well. Still love both of them so much. I also mentioned the NYX High Glass collection. I love this finishing powder. This is my second one. I went through an entire one and I bought a backup. This one is in medium. This whole line is discontinued. I actually did get rid of the two highlighters now because they're discontinued and I have similar colors in the Colourpop formula, so I got rid of them even though they're perfectly fine. But this finishing powder, I'm gonna miss this so much when I'm out of it because it is beautiful. It's still a favorite. I have it on today. Do I? I feel like I have it on today. Yeah, I have it on today. It's still a favorite. Absolutely love it. I'm so sad that it's being discontinued. I also had these two highlighters by Kaleidos. This is the Space Age Prophecy highlighter. This is the multi-chrome highlighter that they released. So pretty. It's still in my collection. Absolutely love it. And then we have Mars Melter. This is more of a blush on me. Let me actually put some on. It's like a peachy pink thing, and I can use this as a blush highlighter hybrid to be like on the apples and up a little bit because it has more of that peachy pinky like glow to it. It is so pretty. I can use this as a highlighter, but it isn't like lighter than my skin tone. It can leave a little bit of a cast, but it's just so pretty. I love this color so much. Definitely keeping all of them. I haven't decluttered any of my Space Age highlighters. I just think they're such a fun formula. Really do enjoy them. I also mentioned the Natasha Denona Mini Balloon Blush. This bright coral. This color is so beautiful. It's still in my collection. It's such a pretty blush. And this is what I talk about when I mean like I've been on a kick with like really glowy blushes. Like this one, like this one. I'm all about it. People are like, oh no, don't put glowy things on your cheek. It's gonna emphasize your pores. Give me the glowy pore life. I want it. So pretty. I mentioned a couple of lashes and I actually still have these. I have a new one, so I should probably get rid of this old one and start using a new one. And they're still a favorite because both of the pairs are still here. And this also shows like how durable these are because I've used these so many times and I still haven't broken into my backup. These are the Carla lashes by Sosu by Suzanne Jackson. Beautiful lashes. These are human hair lashes, so these are not mink lashes, but these are incredible beautiful on the eyes. They are longer in the middle and they're very like flirty and flary and a little thicker out here, but still like, yeah, they're just so flattering. These are the perfect lashes if you want to have lashes that are long and flirty but not too thick. And also looks really good when you don't wear an eyeliner because these have a see-through band and they're just stunning. Stunning. So stunning that I bought a backup and yeah, they're still a favorite. I think they're absolutely stunning. Then we have the Luxe lip oils. Okay, I brought out a new one because this is still a favorite. This is the Colourpop Luxe lip oils. But they don't really smell like anything if I'm gonna be honest. This one is in Paper Pansy. This is the newest one in my collection. I've continued to love these. I've continued to buy these. They're amazing. I still love them. I will say that during 2021, it's been a year of me using so much like colored lip oils and like liquid balms and stuff like that. I've really been like enjoying that. So this like Luxe lip oil formula is something that I really love. I think Colourpop makes a really good lip oil formula, and I also love that they keep releasing some new colors. So if you want to have something that has a little bit of a tint to it, it's really nice. This one is like a almost lavender pink. It's pretty. I mean, I still love them. I think it's a really good one. Ooh, remember that last year was the OPV Beauty lipstick launch? Still love the lipsticks. This is probably one of my most used lipsticks in my collection. This is Made It. Absolutely love it. This orange is, if you want to get into orange lipsticks, get this Made It. It is like a wearable orange, but still like a nude orange. It's so pretty. It's glossy and comfortable and It smells a little bit like taffy. It's just absolutely stunning formula. Still love it. These survived my declutters. I did get rid of some of the very dark colors because I didn't reach for those that often. I very rarely have like a dark brown lip, but I saved so many of these. They're still a favorite. I'm definitely not getting rid of those. No, no, no. It's the same with these, the Juvia's Place matte lipsticks. These are such a good formula. These are comfort mattes. So these are like mattes with almost velvet feeling to them. They're not like liquid lipstick matte. They're not like that super matte. They're more like a comfort matte. They have a little bit of an almost velvety sheen to it. This is one of my favorite ones. It's in toffee. This is like a mid-tone brown. It's so pretty. These I saved so many as well. The reds, the dark berries, the nude ones, the more like mauve ones. Oh my god, they have so many good colors. Definitely recommend them. I also mentioned the lip liners by Juvia's Place. Still love them. Some of my favorites. Definitely recommend them. This one is in Sweet Nothing, which is probably my most used one. It is like a slightly peachy nude on me, slightly darker nude on me. Absolutely wonderful. I hope they release even more colors. Both of these formulas, A+. I had a couple of things that I mentioned that was like, even though they were not reviewed in 2020, there were still favorites that I kept using. And I still use some of these, like most of these. Let me actually go down so I can get to those, and we'll take the palettes last. Okay, also this one was released last year. Also one of my favorite lip liner formulas. This is the Nabla Close-Up Lip Liner. I'm wearing this one today in shade number 1. Amazing lip liner formula. This might be the best release from Nabla ever, and I love a lot of things from Nabla. And then we had the... Was that everything? And okay, so now we have the things that I mentioned that are like still favorites. One of them, the We Makeup More mascara. I will pop up a picture. I have like 3 favorite mascaras. That one is still one of my favorite mascaras, but I'm out of mine. I don't have a backup, and I should really get a backup before I move. I should actually order that. Maybe that should be the thing that I buy on Black Friday, because I'm filming this before Black Friday. The next thing I mentioned is the Benefit Foolproof Brow Powder. I have mine in number 3. I have a pan in this one, and I'm using this light one all the time. Still think that this is a great brow powder product. I love Benefit brow products. This is really great. I think this product in particular has been discontinued, but as you can see, I'm still using it. I'm wearing this today, and I've even hit pan on one of them since last time we talked about it. Another thing that I am still using, and I'm actually wearing it today, this is a Sigma eyeshadow base primer. I have mine in Ignite. This is the eye primer that I'm wearing today. It's still a favorite. It's really great. I love this one so much, and the same with this one. This is the NYX HD Finishing Powder. I have mine in Banana. As you can see, I don't even know. Is this the 5th? It has to be the 5th, maybe even the 6th. I don't know. I think I have a backup even. This is beautiful. I have this under my eyes today. Love this powder so much. I can't believe how many years this has been a favorite of mine. I can't believe how many years this has been my favorite under eye powder. When was the first time I mentioned this on my channel? It has to be 5 years. It has to, like, it's crazy. Another thing that I mentioned is the Super Shock formulas by Colourpop. The cheek formulas, I love the glowy formula. They have matte blushes as well in the Super Shock formula. I don't love that much, but it's not because they're bad, it's because my preference. I don't love a matte blush. This is one of my favorites that I found this year. This is in Chiffon. Colourpop was putting this in the last chance like sale. They were like, when it's gone, and then they brought it back again. Listen, I don't know what they're doing, but I'm not mad because Chiffon is beautiful. It is a pinky peach with like a little almost golden beigey undertone. Oh, it's so pretty. Definitely try out Chiffon if you can. It's so pretty. I still love this formula. This is my favorite. This is my favorite highlighter formula. I said what I said. Sue me. I also mentioned the Colourpop Brow Gel. This is with a hair on it. This is the Brow Boss Gel in light brown. This is my 3rd one. It's what's in my brows today. It's still a favorite. I still use it. I still think it's amazing. Oh, and the Colourpop So Retrograde blush. I have mine in the My Little Pony compact. This also survived the declutter. This is one of my favorite orange blushes in my collection. Definitely don't want to get rid of it. I'm so sad that it's gone. I really hope that they will come. Listen, can we get a glowy orange blush in this formula? Colourpop, let's collab. Let's make the perfect orange blush. Listen, I have ideas. I have ideas. And if I see you release one without my permission, I'm just kidding. Can we get a glowy orange blush, Colourpop, in the Super Shock formula? We need it. If you need help, let me know. What else did I have? Ooh, Perfumes. This is the one I'm wearing today. I'm trying to use this sparingly. This is still a favorite, but I'm trying to only spray a little because I don't want to buy the full size because it's expensive. This is the Maison Margiela Jazz Club. This is the part of the replica line. This is so... Why is there a fly here? Can you not? Go away. This is... It's supposed to give you the scent of a jazz club. It's smoky. There's a little bit of like almost booze undertone. It's like sexy and dark and smoky without being too masculine or too feminine. It's the perfect like evening scent. I love it so much. It's so sexy. I love perfumes more than anything. Listen, I love makeup, I love eyeshadows, I love all of that. That's all fine and dandy, but I love perfumes the most. And I wouldn't be sad if any of these two perfumes that I'm going to show you here, if these were the only perfumes I could keep, I would be fine at least for a while because I love them so much. And this is also still a favorite. I even recommended this in this year's Sephora VIB sale because they brought back the Jo Malone Orange Bitters. Oh, it smells so good. It smells like when you peel an orange, but there's a little bit of, like, spices in the background. It's so orangey and fresh, but still, if you love fresh citrusy scents for summer, you would love this more sexy fall version with some spices in the background. It's just such a nice, warm and lovely perfume without being too spicy or too masculine. It's an absolutely amazing perfume. I still love it. I wore this one actually yesterday and I'm wearing this one today, so maybe that says something. And I also mentioned the We Makeup Lip Plumper in Well. Maybe you can see I've used up half of this one. You see it's down here. It's still a really good lip plumper. If I want a little bit extra plump, or you can sleep with this one and you wake up with hydrated lips. I still really enjoy this one. I think it's a really, really good product. And as you can see, it's still here in my collection. I think those are the things that are not eyeshadows. Oh, I mentioned Retrograde brushes. You know I still love Retrograde brushes. My favorites are the number 13, 14, and 15. I also love those new brushes they came out with. I can't really find them here. The ones that I use for eye prime. It's really good. I also used, like, today, I used these two. I used the number 1. That number 1 is so good. And I also used the 28. I used this one for the green shadow here and to smudge under my lash line. Retrograde brushes are incredible, and I never do my makeup without using at least one of them. I think they make amazing brushes and I definitely stand by that. Okay, let's get into the eyeshadow palettes. I think I have all of them. I'm pretty sure there's not a single one of these that I have decluttered, which shows that I still think that they're really good and that they got to stay. Because here's the thing. Yeah, I still have all of them. Here's the thing when it comes to like me and decluttering. I am moving across the world. I cannot bring everything, so I did an incredible declutter. You're gonna see my eyeshadow palette declutter soon. I decluttered over 100 eyeshadow palettes. But still, these got to stay because these were favorites from last year and I still love them. I still think they're really good and I still recommend them. So let's go through them, but let's not linger on them too much. First, I want to mention the Cutie Palettes by Nabla. Nabla released some new Cutie Palettes last year. This is the Cutie Palette in Platinum. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. If you want to get into cool tone neutrals and you just want to have some of these metallics and these two more darker, sultry cool tone neutrals without being grays, I definitely recommend this one. The quality is A+. Incredible quality. This one I talked about quite recently, and this is the Wild Berries. It's one of my favorite berry palettes. It's absolutely stunning. I definitely recommend both of these still. They're still in my collection. I did actually declutter some Nabla palettes, but not these. These are still my favorites. These got to stay. I also mentioned the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop palettes. These are so good, and I'm so sad that they discontinued these. Let me see if I can get rid of that one. This is my favorite one. It is the cherry on top. It's the red one. It goes from a dark burgundy red all the way to a pastel pink with some corals in the middle. Such a good monochromatic palette. One of my favorite monochromatic palettes in my collection because it's a smart monochromatic palette. It has depth, it has different nuances, but still being in the red spectrum. These are discontinued. I'm hoping they're gonna bring out like something more that's like these kind of a quality with like deep, going from deep, this is the thing. They went from deep to light in a very smart way. Good mix with like half neutrals, good mix of half metallics, half mattes, going from light to deep. These were smart monochromatic palettes. So I hope that they're gonna do something even more in this area. They did do the Say It collection this year, and that collection was amazing. It wasn't monochromatic though. If you missed out on that collection because you thought the packaging wasn't all that, don't sleep on that collection. The quality is amazing. I also mentioned these two palettes. They're still in my collection. I still love these. This is the Avocado Toast. Ugh. This palette, the half neutral, half green palette, really good quality. Like, not even good for the none of these BH Cosmetics palettes are good for the price. They're just good. They're just good. The only thing that gives them away, like that they're like more affordable palettes, is the packaging, if I'm gonna be honest. And this is the Blueberry Muffin. This was the best palette according to me of 2020. Still love it, still adore it, still recommend it. It is a smart, half neutral, half colorful palette with blues and cool tone neutrals that just go together in such a smart way. I also had these two on top, and they're still here in my collection. I still love them. I actually did the Clutters on Juvia's Place palettes as well, and I've never done that before. This is the 6-pan in Sweet Pinks. I actually reach for this quite often when I want a pop of pink, because this metallic pink is just something else. It is almost like fluorescent. It's so cool. Really, really enjoy this palette. If you want to inject a pop of pink in your like collection, definitely recommend that one. And this one I talked about quite recently. This burgundy red here in the Berries palette. So pretty. Again, definitely recommend this one. Like the quality of these. I like the packaging of these. I like the price point and how like easy and accessible it is with just 6 monochromatic shades to just fit into your collection and to mix and match with other things. Another thing that's still in my collection, Melt Cheese in Parties. As I'm filming this is my favorite Melt palette. It's just an incredible palette. And as I said when I ranked all of my Melt palettes, if you were looking to try Melt, and see if it's for you, try this palette, because this is the good Melt formula. Both the metallics and the matte are the good Melt formula. So if you don't like this one, you probably won't like Melt, because it doesn't get better than this with Melt. This is the good Melt formula. Definitely recommend it. It's absolutely incredible palette. Still 1,000,000% recommend it. This was my number 2 palette. This was my second most favorite palette of 2020. I think the only reason this one didn't win is because it doesn't have any super deep colors except this like dark brown. And you know me, I want something colorful deep as well. It's just an incredible palette. The shimmers are beautiful. Oh, and I love all of this. And I quite recently used this one. When did I use this one? Oh, it was in my member exclusive tutorial for November. I used this palette together with the Club Nebula palette, which is the palette I did with Kaleidos. I think this is an amazing palette. I 10 out of 10 still recommend it. I do think it's still available. It's just such a fun, high quality palette. Kaleidos is such a good brand. They release incredible eyeshadows. The palette that they had this year as well, the Flower Punk palette, is also such an incredible palette. Definitely recommend it. This one has been discontinued. This was the Valentine's release for 2020. Yeah, because she released a Mini Love this year. This has been discontinued. I have seen this on sales at some places that it's still available. In Sweden it's sold out. I did see a couple of copies in store though. So if you're in Sweden and you want to buy this one, I did see this palette in store at Sephora at Biblioteksgatan in Stockholm, in case you were interested. Might be sold out though, on an incredible deep discount. I will see if I can find this anywhere and link it. This is an incredible Natasha Denona palette. The good quality. There's a mix of duochromes, satins, metallics, cream to powder formula, the matte formula, light, dark, purple, red, pink. Incredible. Such a well-rounded palette that just have everything. Really, really love it. Sad to see it go, but at the other, like on the other side, she has released so many good palettes this year as well. So it's not like she's just slacking around. She's really bringing her A game. The last palettes I'm gonna mention are actually 2 palettes from Glamlight. I also still have both of these palettes. This one was released in January of 2020, which, you remember January of 2020? I bought this one before like the whole COVID thing happened. We were all just such like sweet, innocent summer childs back then. Such a beautiful palette. This is definitely a rainbow palette I recommend if you want to get into more rainbow looks. I feel like the only downside of this palette is that there's only one green, but I still think it's super, super pretty. Such a good palette. And then we have this one that is the Ice Cream Dream palette, which was the more like pastel palette with pops of brights up here. Also really, really enjoyed this palette. I've had a lot of fun with it. I think I have videos on all of the things that I'm mentioning here, if I'm gonna be honest, but if you were looking for some looks, I'm pretty sure I have at least 2 up on this one. Such a beautiful palette. I really like the Glam Light formula, and this is just a bunch of really fun things. If you want to get into color, but you don't want it to be this bright or this dark, this could be a really good option. It has a lot of really, really good colors, and it's still in my collection because I think it's a really good palette. Those were my favorites of 2020. A couple of things that I got rid of. I think it's only, was it 2? 2 things. Oh, actually, I mentioned a brow product as well in my favorites, which was from Lime Crime, the Bushy Brow Pen. I did go out of that one and I purchased the NYX one instead, and I like the NYX one more. You know, I've talked about that pen from NYX so much. If you want to know which one it is, I will link it. I think it's going to be in the pinned comment where I link everything that's on my face. There you can see the brow pen that I'm using right now, and I do prefer that one over the Lime Crime, and that is why I didn't repurchase it. Even though I like the Lime Crime a lot, I used it throughout like the entirety of 2020. When I tried the NYX one, I actually liked that one better. So it's not a favorite anymore because I like the NYX one so much better. But other than that, I think the only things that I decluttered is the cream highlighter from Natasha Denona because I prefer the ABH, and the Shook to the Coral blush by Colourpop because I've been into even more glowy blushes this year. So I got rid of a couple of blushes that just were slightly shimmery or just matte blushes, and also I don't like the packaging of that one, so it had to go. But all in all, here's the thing, and this is also like why I asked Lauren to do this video with me. I feel like me and Lauren are the same. Like, if we love something, we love something. We love something. What might happen sometimes is that I go through something that I love and I don't repurchase it because I find something else that I love. But I rarely change my mind about things that I love. Like, they're still in my collection. I still love them. I still think they're really good. Like the items that I love from the concealer from NYX and the foundation X Plus from Natasha Denona, I think both of those products are being discontinued. Some people are saying the NYX concealer is coming back in new packaging. I don't know, but I mean, they're still favorites, but like when I go out of them, I'm out of them and I can't repurchase them. And also the NYX High Glass Finishing Powder is the same. Like, it's still a favorite, but like, what am I gonna do if I can't repurchase? It is what it is. It is what it is, and that is like my curse. My favorites are being discontinued. Let me know, do you have any favorites that you have been using for years and years? Because I have quite a lot of favorites that I've been using for years and years. Like this one, the NYX HD powder, and also that like eyeliner pencil by Colourpop in Prance. Still my favorite, still use it, still love it. Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to check out Lauren's video. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you again tomorrow for a new video. Bye!